Welcome back for another laser-focused, on-point, and accurate episode of the Ross Bolen podcast. I am your aforementioned host, here today with my esteemed colleague, Jared Borislow. Jared, how are you?
I'm doing great today. I could be doing better, though, Ross.
We all could always, right?
Well, here's why. So I allowed myself to fall victim to a national marketing campaign. As you probably have seen watching sports or just watching TV in general, there is a new Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. This is not Diet Dr. Pepper. This is the Coke Zero equivalent to Coke. So it's Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. They're having this current marketing campaign that says this is the least zero sugar tasting soda of all time. And the whole joke is they spent years in a vault designing it or some shit. And actually, the actor from Westworld is in the commercials, Ptolemy Slocum, who plays Sylvester. But anyways, Ross, I tried it.
Non-spawn, not even an advertiser. Yes, okay, how is it?
Tastes exactly like every other diet soda I've ever had.
So like a vinegar and watered down version of the regular version?
It tastes like it's in your mouth, and you're like, wow, it doesn't taste diet. And then the aftertaste of the aspartame, or in this case, it is aspartame. You just feel that in your mouth, and you're like, this is diet.
No, because I don't really mess with diet beverages.
Well, I regret to inform
I was
all
actually recently told that diet beverages are worse for me than the regular drink.
A lot of people say that. So I regret to inform our listeners, if you were hyped about Dr. Pepper
I don't know
Zero
if
Sugar,
that's true. I just want to be clear. I don't know dick about nutrition.
it's not very good, not worth your purchase.
Great. Thanks for starting the show with a review of a fucking bad soft drink. Here's a more enjoyable topic. I went to the dentist this morning. Hadn't been since before the pandemic, before the divorce, before so much changed. So much has happened. And I want to be clear that just because it's been like 2 years, I still have great oral hygiene, all right? I brush twice a day minimum. I floss every night now like a serial killer. I don't fuck around. So it's not like I've just been out here all stanky mouthed and gnarly, growing a sea anemone on one of my molars and flush with cavities or some shit. My grill is good. But, the dentist gives you that deep clean, man. Like, you can wash your own car. Sure. But you can't wash your own car like a really, really good car wash guy can with their executive package for $69.99 or whatever. It's the same with your dentist. Do your best, but you can't get them clean like he can because he has the tools. The mouth vacuum and chisel, everything you need. Ironically, the exact same tools they use to clean a car.
The mouth vacuum and chisel?
Uh-huh. So I go to the dentist this morning, and my dentist, and more so his dental hygienist, didn't ask me shit. Like, normally the small talk is there, like, how's the family, how's your career? No, they knew better. Didn't even come close to making me go into specifics. She was like, how have things been for you? And I was like, oh, hon, a lot has happened. A lot. And she was like, yep, and just went back to lasering my grill because the fear of what she might find out if she delved any deeper was prevalent. Like, clearly, sister has been hearing shit she did not need or want to hear on a regular basis since reopening their offices post-COVID. Or post-major part of COVID.
Did you really talk to her with a Minnesota accent?
No, that part was just for fun. But 2020 ruined everyone's lives.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want to know anymore, which is interesting to me. My haircut chick, she never really fucked with caring in the first place. She's just kind of cold. I like her for this reason. It's funny to me. She's just kind of a bitch. Everybody else that goes complains about her. And I'm like, yeah, she's fucking awesome. She does a great job with my hair. I don't care, whatever.
And how many people have you,
probably 25. She's never even said thank you. I've literally probably sent 25 people there over the past 6 years. She's never even said thank you, and I don't care. I like her more for that.
She feels like she owes you nothing.
She's deranged. But people, I don't know if that's a regular thing. Dental hygienist, haircut people. I don't know who else makes small talk. Who has to make a ton of small talk throughout the day?
I mean, a pediatrician would be the most.
Doctors of all kinds, really. If they're just not asking anymore. How are things? And then no matter what you say after that, they're moving on. Because if they delve deep, shit hit the fan. And if you're one of those lucky ones who during 2020 was like, shit, I'm crushing this year. Things are really going my way. I feel bad for everybody else, but #blessed. Then I have bad news for you. 2020 ruined your entire life too. You just don't know it yet. It just planted small ticking time bombs in all your relationships in the deepest, darkest corners of your mind that are waiting to explode at any second and send your life crumbling to the ground.
You said that with a smile on your face.
Well, I already went through this shit. Mine all exploded. All my time bombs that were planted were very short fuses, Jared. Or already actively exploding before the pandemic even started. Which is lit. It's lit. But my dentist is phenomenal. But I did notice something I hadn't before. He put on a couple pounds during the pandy in the tummy area, right? A lot of us did. And so when he's leaned over doing my teeth and stuff, I've got his navel pressed up against my ear hole, which is uncomfortable.
Did you hear anything like a conch shell situation?
Whole goddamn civilization in there. Thing is deep. You ever see some big old bellied men when you're at the pool and you just want to stick your thumb in there, right? Just see how far it goes. If there's any gold in there. Hello? Is there anyone alive in there? Can anybody hear me?
I love gold.
Also, I forgot to renew my dental insurance. Turns out it expired in January. That's fucking interesting, man.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's several months. So I wanted to talk about the worst and best things about going to the dentist.
Can I drop some knowledge on you?
Yeah, sure, hit me.
I have had more cavities filled, and this is not a sexual innuendo. I'm being literal. I've had more cavities filled than anybody you know.
Okay.
I was born premature. I wasn't born with any enamel on my teeth.
Okay.
It caused a series of tooth issues. I've probably gotten at this point over 25 cavities filled in my life.
At some point, are you going to break and go be
veneer guy?
Veneer guy?
I can't be a veneer guy. I've heard that it messes up your sensation of taste a little bit.
Bullshit. Who told you that?
Maybe it's the anti-veneer propaganda campaign.
Wow.
I've heard it messes up. It's with your brain because like when you're not chewing it with your actual teeth, it like messes up your ability to like eat food in a way that was exactly like it was prior.
So you're saying sometimes beauty is not just pain, it's giving up the sensation of taste.
I think it's not the taste, it's like the sensation of eating. That's what it is.
I'll say this for veneers, man. People when rich people started getting them in the 80s and 90s, they looked dumb as hell. Like James Harden right after he got his, where the front two hadn't been filed down enough, so he looked like Bugs Bunny. And now, what they can do is incredible.
Yeah.
My dad had really bad teeth. I inherited his teeth, unfortunately, so it took several $1,000s to make my mouth look the way it does now, including a year of a Herbst appliance, which is a thing you'd have to Google. I'm not explaining it. It was a nightmare. I will not relive it for your pleasure. And 3.5 years of braces, all kinds of rubber bands and stuff. It was insanity, Jared. There was madness. It was a jackhammer in my mouth at one point. And after that, I take my teeth real serious because that shit was scary.
Damn. You wait.
But my dad's teeth were fucked up. So he got all new teeth. Like I just went home one day to Houston and he had a totally different mouth. And I was just like, holy shit. And he looks amazing.
I have a question. What's that mouth do?
I don't want to know. Just says nice things to me. How you doing, son? Good, Dad. Please don't tell me what your mouth do.
But how does it look?
That was our exact last conversation. Were you listening in?
How does it look? Look pretty good?
No, it looks phenomenal. I mean, it is probably, it's still to me the most drastic change you can make to your appearance if you have crap teeth or teeth that have, taken a beating, or you're like Jared and you're lacking some enamel or whatever the fuck. It's worth it, I think.
Some celebs. Who are the celebs who got it and it was like so crazy?
Oh, all of them. Every fucking single one.
Yeah. But there's some who have the huge smile now and it's like jarring.
Well, it's really noticeable for people who have really bad teeth before. So like James Harden's teeth were a total train wreck in there, and now he has a beautiful set of brand new pearly whites that at one point were unusually large in the front too. Again, I would note that whoever did that, there had to have been some reason they had to leave them like that for a little bit. Like, James, we got to leave these like this to fix your bite before we can file him down or whatever because he did look straight up bunny-like.
Maybe they left it because it was wabbit season.
And he would like lean into it too. He was like putting his teeth over his lips, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
When you say lean into it, was he leaning into it like Bobby Portis leans into looking like Squidward?
Dude, I saw somebody tweet last night they're going to have to put a statue of Bobby Portis' eyes in Milwaukee.
They should.
Which is an incredible idea. Him just laughing at Chris Paul when they got into that little scuffle was just chef's kiss on the whole package of the NBA Finals that we will get into a little bit later. So worst things about the dentist, Jared. The sound of the drill on your teeth. It's not even the sound of the drill, and it's not even a drill anymore. It's just that damn tool they have that, like, it's like a power washer. They're power washing your teeth with that really tiny power washer, but the noise, the sound of it,
yeah,
it's unbearable.
Very high pitched. It sounds like one very small nail on a chalkboard.
Just even fucking. This was so recently for me. You have to remember. So I'm still kind of sitting actively in the trauma, and it was just crushing today. And it's one of those things where, like, again, beauty is pain. So you have to get through it because that's the most effective part. That's the thing you can't do because you don't have that damn tool. And you'd be a psycho. Some of you probably do. You're like, I do have that tool. I paid $600 for that tool. I got the code off your podcast. And it's like, no, I never sold that. It must have been another podcast. And then we get into this whole fucking argument about where you heard it. And it's just not worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, Christy Carlson Romano had it in Even Stevens. She had it in the bathroom setup.
No
Shouts
shit.
to Shia LaBeouf.
Wow. So that thing, the noise of it, it's a top 5 worst sound in life with this chalkboard screech and the roar of the shoe bill before it eats your face and plastic on plastic rubbed together for that like high-pitched nightmare noise and a woman tearing during childbirth, all those things.
What? Ew. God, we're just making everybody cringe right now listening.
Where the hell are you supposed to look when you're at the dentist?
Right in their eyes, right in the hygienist's eyes.
You think you just make constant eye contact, you lock in, and you never falter?
And I mouth, help me.
And I'm not just talking, Jared, about when you're wearing the glasses, because sometimes they'll give you the glasses because they've got the high beam light on you. I got no glasses today. Nobody handed me anything. I don't know if that's, somebody forgot or they didn't have that light anymore or something. I don't know, but I didn't get any glasses. So when I'm just laying there, because they lean you back really far. Like, you're laying there now. I mean, that's the most I ever lay unless I'm fucking sleeping, is when I'm at that angle is that you're laying the hell down. And I don't ever want to stare into the light because I'm on my back. And I don't want to stare at them because I don't know this fucking person and they're a foot from me. Why are you yelling? You're a foot from me. Thank you, Stubbs. I did notice at my dentist now they installed a square one. You know how it's squared just office buildings. One of the squares is a piece of art for you to look at. Nice picture of a forest was above me today, and I'm not looking at that. It's still too awkward because now I'm not looking at you, and it's like, why aren't you looking at me? Don't you think I'm a good-looking human?
I've been to a lot of dentist offices that have a flat screen TV on the stand, and they put it in front of you and they give you headphones. I've been to quite a few of those.
Also, I'm just like Cyclops, man. Like, I like off electricity with my eye. What if we lock eyes and like we change each other's fucking lives? It's not worth it. Just clean my teeth.
Oh, speaking of like having an interaction with a stranger and potentially changing each other's life, I was in a McDonald's drive-thru.
Did you kill a homeless person? What the fuck happened? This could go anywhere.
I was in a McDonald's drive-thru, and this is no regular McDonald's. This is half McDonald's, half gas station.
Sounds like it's going where I guessed.
This is the half McDonald's, half gas station at the corner of Congress and 290, and I was getting breakfast. Right,
so specific.
I was getting breakfast. I have this is not a stunt. I have an Amex Platinum. Anybody can have it. It's not stunting, but it's made of metal, like many credit cards are nowadays.
Not anybody, but sure.
It's made of metal, right?
Okay.
A very popular trend these days with credit
wow,
cards.
Man, I feel so rich. I'm going to buy even more dumb shit that I can't afford.
Exactly. That's exactly the point.
It's actually genius. I've actually gone to Chase before and been like, hey, so I've got this card, and my boy has this card, and that one's actually metal, and this card is shit. What the fuck? And they were like, yeah, you can apply for that card right now. Here, do it. Oh, look, here's that card. And I was like, sick, thank you. And it cost me more money. Like, for just the metal card.
But don't you feel cool?
It was totally worth it, like 1,000%. I would go do it again right now.
So here's what happened with my metal card. I have this issue because I drive a really shitty car, a 2008 Nissan Sentra SL, a standard of luxury. So I have this thing.
Old car people, stand up. I was just recently one of you. You're the best. Stay strong. Keep driving that thing.
Thank you. So I sometimes will become statically electrically charged by my car, right?
Wow, you're also an X-Men. I'm Cyclops and you're Storm.
So every so often, this will happen where my static electricity in my body,
You're Halle Berry.
and I'm holding this metal card, and I'll hand it over to a fast food worker,
Okay.
and I will shock them, right?
Oh, wow.
Now, I think this has happened 2 or 3 times before, but this specific time was notable.
do they think you're pranking them, like handing them like a does anybody ever gone, oh, fuck you, man?
No, but everybody usually just goes, oh, but like it happens nowadays with them, so they get it. But this they don't do that, but it was similar, Ross, because I handed it over to her, and she goes, oh, and while both of our hands are on the card, she goes, oh, the energy.
Fucking Austin, dude.
I think she thought her and I had some sort of spiritual connection.
She came a little, is what you just
She might have.
admitted to right there.
She might have.
Is that cheating? Does that count?
I told my girlfriend, and she was fine with it. So
Well, look at that. What a good guy. He's already out in front of it. Can't even throw him under the bus on the show somehow. It's not possible.
the energy,
The energy. That's what I'm saying, though.
Ross, the energy.
And that shit is real, man. Not the static electricity when you shock somebody. You're like, that'll happen with a cat. That's not, sexual energy. Maybe it is. I don't know. For some of you. What? Back to the dentist. I'm not even going to go where I was about to. Just stop, Ross. Get your shit together. Okay, here we are. Yeah, so I'm not staring into their eyes. I'm not staring into the bright light. I'm not looking at the art that then lets you know that I don't want to look at you because I'm socially awkward and I'm strange. So I just close my eyes the entire time.
That's a weird move because they don't know if you're asleep.
I don't give a fuck.
I've fallen asleep at the dentist once, but
Here's the thing I've learned though, Jared.
Yeah.
I do not care what their experience is. I'm the one who's suffering here and paying for it. I do not care. In the past I've cared so much, like getting a massage, about what the masseuse thinks or whatever, about my huge erect penis. No, I'm just kidding about that. Not Deshaun Watsoning anybody. About me mostly not knowing where to look. Because they lean over you and shit, man. It's so I just close my fucking eyes.
I mean, massage
because I don't want to
place.
stare at his nipples or accidentally down, whatever.
Was your masseuse shirtless?
I'm talking about my dentist now.
Oh.
He comes in shirtless and does my teeth after the hygienist, who's normal and dressed like a normal human being, finishes up.
With a massage, they stick your face into a hole, so you don't have to worry about where.
Well, that's when you're face down, though, Jared.
Yeah.
They actually, they roll you over. Stop. I'm not going to. So, like, when I'm getting a pedicure, even, that's sitting up in a chair. Close my eyes the entire time.
You did not.
Yes, I do.
That's fucking
What do you mean
weird.
you did not. I still do. 5 times now, probably, I've gotten one.
If you get a pedicure, and if I'm giving you a pedicure and
Whole
I look
time.
up and your eyes
Whole
are
time,
closed,
dude. Hey, Jared, when I get a haircut, the whole time.
that's
Keep my eyes
why.
closed.
Maybe that's why your haircutter is such a bitch to you.
Don't care.
She's like, fuck this guy.
To me, it's everybody else that complains about her. I've never said a word. Everybody else, Ross, what the fuck is this chick steal? She's great at cutting my hair, but she's a bitch. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Did you go to get a friend, or are you going to get a good haircut? You paying for company? She's not a fucking escort. She's a hairstylist. Does she do your hair well? Yes or no? It's the oh, you drive like a maniac. Did you die? Get what you pay for, baby. I don't know what's wrong. If you want somebody that's really good at their job and nice, that's fucking hard to find. There's like 6 of us. That's not easy. I'm not one of them. Jared is, so I got to throw the odds in there. So I close my eyes the whole time, and that's not a bit, that's not a joke. I'm dead serious, and I know how weird that is, and I don't care anymore. It's the same reason I'm wearing a giant Masters polo with Zane Road pants and Jordans today. I don't care anymore. And there's nothing anybody can do to stop me. It's amazing. I'm free. Dentist was good though. Came out feeling like that's the best thing about leaving. The dentist as a whole, best part is leaving. You feel the most fresh-mouthed you're going to feel that year, probably, if you're a one-time-a-year person. I got booked for 6 months from now. We'll see.
That's not going to happen.
How I feel. Yeah. Very easy to cancel that appointment. Very easy. I was just there back in July.
Did you have any other reasons or things about the dentist?
Other good things?
Any things? I thought you...
that anxiety that you carry about having to go to the dentist or having gum disease or mouth cancer or just cavities that you've been carrying for months and as a result avoiding the dentist entirely now being gone, that anxiety being gone is another great thing about going to the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Or I guess like say something was actually wrong, you can actually face it. I'm sorry if that's the case. And then also, best thing about going to the dentist, probably all in all, is listening to Sting. Sting has a contract with the American Dental Association by which all Kevin McAllister toothbrushes must be approved, that they have to play at least one Sting or the Police song during every single patient's appointment.
That's true. Can't remember the last time I went to a dentist's office, didn't hear Sting.
Knowledge is power.
What's your favorite Sting song? Or the Police?
Every breath you take. Do you know P. Diddy didn't get that shit cleared with Sting? So he still gets paid off that Sting?
That's good.
Isn't that classic? The music industry's fucked up with stories like that, by the way. We talked about the thong song situation for Cisco several weeks ago.
Living la vida loca.
Yeah, he's Ricky Martin, or actually not even Ricky Martin. The dude who wrote Livin' La Vida Loca, who's not Ricky Martin, is been getting all the Cisco thong song checks his whole life, which that's still mailbox money. Do you think they don't play thong song? They play thong song.
Did you see that thing going around on the internet lately about the origin of the thong song?
Yes.
How Cisco's like cousin or buddy walked into the room holding a thong and was like, "Look what I got! I got that thong, the thong, thong, thong," and then he wrote a song about it, and it was a top 100 hit.
Where'd he get the thong?
From a lady.
But like, did he steal it? Or she was like, "You can keep that." Like, who the fuck? I don't understand the underwear thing, man. I was never like an underwear keeper.
Now, you were a panty raider. We all know you were a panty raider.
I really wasn't. Okay, I'll tell you a story. One time I heard this story, right, about this person, right, and they're engaged, this dude, all right? And before they could get married, one day she goes under the bed and she finds this suitcase. And she opens up the suitcase and it's filled with women's panties. They're not her panties, mind you. So she's concerned. They end up not getting married. Turns out he was purchasing other women's panties off eBay. Used panties, mind you. Wasn't wearing them. Was for like sniffing and such, from what I understand it. So, just something to keep in mind. Why are you nodding at me like that?
I mean, yeah, I guess you never know. You never know what makes people tick. You know?
Yeah, you do. Anything and everything you can imagine. That's what makes people tick. Each of us is just a little different.
What is that called? Rule 94? Is that what it is? Rule 49?
Pavlov's law, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Murphy's law, too, as well. Both of them. Same law. Little known fact. Science.
I have to get a root canal at some point. The doctor pretty much told me my tooth was a ticking time bomb. He's like, yeah, eventually you're going to have to get a root canal.
My guy today was like, all right, check this out. And my dentist, he always feels like he's showing off the tech. Like I'm going to be so fucking impressed that he can get a picture of my mouth. He's like, check this out. Like puts his elbow on my forehead, just like ultimate disrespect. Like he's just so condescending. I like it. Again, I don't know what it is, but I want my service industry people to be total cunts and just because that way there's no expectation. I go in knowing this is a dick. Also a very knowledgeable dick who teaches me things every time, but in a condescending fashion. So he's getting me lean back and he puts this thing in my mouth and he takes a quick picture and he shows me up on the screen. It actually was pretty cool. But still, it's like I know this technology exists, old man. I work in online media, man. I have a podcast, man. Subscribe, rate, review.
No, don't, because you just called him a hard C. You don't want him to listen. You definitely don't want your hair cutter to listen.
I don't think you... No, you think when I say subscribe, rate, review, that anyone who's not currently listening to the show somehow hears that in their brain. What the fuck is your fear? So he shows me and he's like, you've got this crack here. And he goes into this explanation about the 4 different quadrants of the tooth and how they grow into each other that I'm not going to fucking vault into, Ross. Stop. And he's like, you're going to have a cavity if I don't fill this one soon. You're going to have a cavity. It's not a cavity yet, but you'll have one. And I was like, you better get in there, man. And he was like, I will. And afterward, he acted like he had saved like a cat from a tree. Like he was like, or like a, old lady from a burning farm. He was like he wanted me to hug him or something. It was amazing. And he does this all shirtless.
Yeah.
Had a good time, though. Had a good time. They played nothing but easy listening classics at the dentist in there. That's it.
Oh, do they play One Headlight by the Wallflowers?
Shout out to the movie Three Kings, starring George Clooney and Ice Cube and Mark Wahlberg and Spike Jonze and more.
With one headlight.
No, they don't play that.
Oh.
That's not an easy listening classic, dude.
That is an easy listening classic. One Headlight by the Wallflowers is the epitome of an easy listening classic.
Well, you just made it sound like a metal song.
You know that song?
With your gruff voice.
You know it.
I really don't. You'd have to sing more of it, and I don't want to ask you to do that. Because, who knows what'll happen? Do you even know the lyrics? See? Yeah.
So long ago, I don't remember when.
Oh, that's not an easy listening classic.
That's my
dude.
only friend.
I know the song, but that's not an easy listening classic.
She died easy of a broken heart disease.
Wow, now he's really going.
Well, so when Ross thought I didn't know the lyrics, I had to go through the entire long intro in my head.
The cemetery trees. That's the line, right?
Suck me beneath the cemetery trees.
Is that the next line?
That's not the next line.
Shit. I took a shot, Jared. I took a shot. Good dentist talk. Today's episode of RBP is brought to you by Stamps.com. This summer is showing welcoming signs of a more normal life ahead. Finally, you can get back to enjoying life's little pleasures like smiling at your neighbor, seeing a movie, and going to the post office. Okay, some parts of normal life are not so great, but with Stamps.com, you can skip trips to the post office and save on postage. Mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your computer. Send letters, ship packages, pay less, a lot less, with discounted rates from USPS, UPS, and more. Stamps.com saves businesses thousands of hours and tons of money every year. Stamps.com, bringing the services of the U.S. Postal Service and UPS right to your computer. It's a must-have for any business like Bolen Media, right here in the heart of Austin, Texas. Whether you're a small business sending invoices, a side hustle, Etsy shop, sending out orders, or just navigating the hybrid work life of 2021, Stamps.com can handle it all with ease. No wonder over 1 million businesses choose Stamps.com for their mailing and shipping. Again, you just use your computer. You can print official U.S. postage 24/7, any letter, any package, any class of mail, anywhere you want to send it. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. It's that simple with Stamps.com. You get discounts up to 40% off post office rates and up to 66% off UPS shipping rates. Not to mention, Stamps.com is a fraction of the cost of those expensive postage meters. Stamps.com is a no-brainer. Saves you time, saves you money. Just go to Stamps.com, click the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in RBP. That's Stamps.com, top of the homepage, microphone, code RBP. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. You're going to get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Stamps.com, microphone at the top of the page, code RBP. Support the show. Take care of your postage. Boom. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton brought the Bucks their first championship in 50 years. 50 years. And the 26-year-old, he's fucking 26 years old. 26 years old. That's a problem for the rest of the league. Dropped 50 points in the city that drafted him after signing an extension in the era of the super team. It's just, it's an amazing accomplishment. And non-basketball people need to understand that scoring 50 points in a finals game is legendary on a level that few people, like Michael Jordan, LeBron, handful of other absolute fucking freak shows, have ever attained.
7 people have ever done it.
50 points in a closeout finals game is permanent all-time legend status at 26 years old. I haven't watched anybody make that jump in a minute. Since LeBron. Like somebody that did something where I was like, oh, that's all-time greatness. Like all-time greatness argued as a top 25 guy forever type of thing. And Giannis is there. Like that's how crazy what he pulled off. I mean, his stat line for the series was nuts. But to close out with 50 freaking points is...
Yeah, he also, people know this, he promised Milwaukee, he's like, Milwaukee drafted me, I'm going to do it the right way here. How many, 8 years he spent? Like him and Chris Middleton just chilling for 8 years with a bunch of shitty players like Andrew Bogut and stuff.
I mean, yeah, but listen, they both got really, Chris Middleton was unbelievable. There was a point in the finals where I was like, Chris Middleton's going to win finals MVP. And then Giannis had the last 3 games, and I was like, never mind.
I was in line at barbecue, and I saw a dude wearing a shirt. It had a huge picture of Chris Middleton's face on it, and all it said was, Chris Middleton is good.
He's very, very good.
It's accurate. Underrated.
He's very, highly underrated. One of those guys that nobody who doesn't watch the NBA regularly even knows exists. Also, if you're not a Milwaukee Bucks fan.
Drew Holiday's defense on Devin Booker the entire series was incredible.
Unbelievable. The Bucks were they outmatched the Suns at the end of the day in almost every way.
Except for Frank Kaminsky. Bucks couldn't have an answer for Frank Kaminsky. Frank the Tank, baby, go Badgers.
They were going nuts when he had 6 points. But for Giannis, I mean, when it all was said and done, like the thing that really struck me was that he's only 26, and so many Hall of Famers have already acknowledged this, but he has a level of humility that most guys don't attain till their 30s. In the NBA, most NBA players don't attain till their 30s, and it's this... That's very rare to be able to have that with the talent that he has. And this is a dude that, a lot of people give a lot of shit to. He's won MVP. He won an MVP award. And when you've won an MVP award, people hate on you hard, man, especially when you can't make a fucking free throw to save your life, which he went like 17 for 18 from the line last night. And a lot of people in Vegas lost a lot of money on it.
Yeah, he missed 2 free throws, and one of them was the last one he took like in the dying seconds of the game. It didn't matter anymore.
I mean, just an insane, unbelievable, to be able to do that at 26 years old. I am 34 years old, and I still haven't won an NBA championship, much less a finals MVP and league MVP. Chris Paul is 36 years old.
I think Chris Paul, every time I look at him, he is the most hateable person currently for me in the NBA. He looks like such a crybaby.
It's his body language. He has the most punchable body language in the history of sports, and it's everyone I've ever watched basketball with will be like, what is it about him that just makes him terrible? He's the fucking worst. And look, man, CP3 is a legend of the basketball court. I can appreciate that. But I've never really liked the guy. It was fun to root for him when he was on the Rockets. It was impossible not to. He was so good. But any other team, I can't. He's very tough. It's very tough for me to root for him because of that body language, that hateability factor. But I am sad for him. Like, he really thought he was going to get one. Like, I think I know he believed. Like, oh my God, this is it. Finally. 18 years or whatever. Finally, I stayed healthy through one. Finally, I get this badass younger dude, let Devin Booker to be on my. Finally, all these pieces are put together on the Suns. Frank Kaminsky. Yes. And then nope. Finally, he stays healthy, the most important one. And still. Bruce
No ring.
No ring.
I've been wondering this. How much of a loss was Dario Saric?
I don't even know who that is, so probably huge.
He's the guy who, he got injured in the game 1 or 2 and was out for the series.
I don't know who that is, though.
He's a Suns. I think he was the Suns, he was a starter for them.
Oh, he was a starter?
Yeah, and he got injured and he was out and that's why Frank Kaminsky was getting minutes.
I don't know.
Saric
looks like he's a Croatian.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very familiar with Mr. Saric. But,
okay,
regardless.
So we need to talk about this. Brandon Jennings predicted this result in 2013. Bucks legend Brandon Jennings in 2013 said Bucks in 6. The Bucks proceeded to get swept in that series.
and it was legendary.
And it was legendary.
For a time.
And so people ever since have been saying Bucks in 6. And for the last 6 years, it was not Bucks in 6.
And now Bucks in 6 to win the finals. And we all went into this thinking Suns in 4 guy was the legend.
Yeah.
And it's not.
It's Brandon Jennings.
Turns out it's Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings, the great Aristotle. And by Aristotle, I mean the dude who predicts the future. It's coming. Nostradamus. There it is, of basketball. Thank you, Jerry.
Yep, I got you.
Also, Giannis today went to Chick-fil-A and ordered 50 nuggets.
A 50-piece for a 50-piece.
after dropping 50 points and getting the Bucks their first championship in 50 years. And I feel like it was posted by every Instagram account I follow that is not a personal account. And I like at the end of it now at this point I'm like, okay, how much did Chick-fil-A pay him? It was so perfect. He's even like, do you mind if I film you to the employee to like which is just like that puts me even more in the space of like, nah, that's just Giannis really being smart and present enough to know that. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, but man, that's what they want me to think.
No, Giannis is the purest athlete. Giannis is the most likable athlete, I think, in any major sport.
If you don't like Giannis Antetokounmpo at this point, I will gladly fight you. Like you don't. There isn't a reason. Like you're an asshole. You've got some kind of sick problem with you. You need to reevaluate shit. Go look in the mirror and say Candyman 3 times.
So Giannis, one thing that was going viral from this was his drink order. It was half Sprite, half lemonade, no ice.
Which again is like, did a Chick-fil-A marketing genius write that?
Because you know they're going to get that for the next month. People are I'm going to order that.
I'm going to order that. We're going right after the fucking show ends. We already had lunch too. I don't care.
I want ice though.
I'm going to get ice. I don't know what the hell that's about. That's a serial killer move. They got great ice. Maybe there's some conspiracy here. Chick-fil-A has an ice shortage. So they're trying to convince people that non-ice drinks are cool. You know?
Well, they're
just
not
like
cool.
They tried to convince us in the 90s that smoking cigarettes was cool.
It is cool.
Yeah, it's still cool.
It's dangerous, deadly.
Here's the thing. No, I'm backing up. It's not. It's not cool. It's not cool. It looks cool visually.
Yes, that's what I'm getting
It
at.
smells. The habit sucks. It's expensive. Everything about it is trash. You can't fucking breathe. Everybody hates you in reality. But you do look cool if you smoke cigarettes.
But I think the reason...
you're going to die. But everything else about it is shit.
I think the reason that you look cool is because it's like, wow, that dude doesn't give a fuck. He's killing himself.
That's exactly what it is.
He's killing himself right there.
That's the closest thing I've ever seen to somebody putting a gun to their own head. Right there. Man, that guy's a badass. Fucking James Dean over here.
What else looks cool about it besides the fact that you're like, damn, that dude
Smoke
absolutely...
billowing from your mouth when you say stuff. Again, there's not that much. The marketing was very good. Smoking cigs is not cool. You smell like an ashtray. Your skin is going to fucking age horribly, much more quickly than it would if you didn't. And that shit's for real, for real. With celebs, bro, once they get above the 45-year-old mark now, I can see that shit. Oh, you smoked cigarettes. Or you didn't smoke cigarettes. Or you do smoke cigarettes still fucking actively, Jennifer Aniston. Stop. Jen? Why? I really don't understand. So if you smoke cigs in 2021, I want a fucking explanation. What are you doing? Go get a goddamn Juul and suck on that thing like the robot scum you are. Nobody needs to be smoking regular cigs anymore. That is legitimately like a partial suicidal thing at this point. If you're still fuck all that. I don't even care if it's like directly tied to lung cancer. It's like just in general, everyone who has ever smoked cigarettes ever for 20 years will tell you like this is terrible. Don't do this.
Yeah.
Because you end up not being able to goddamn breathe.
We also don't know the effects of vapes yet. Those things came out like 4 years ago.
Yes, but I do know that's what I'm saying. I don't know the effects of vapes, but at least I know the effects of you're gonna die. Like this is maybe better, probably not though. Maybe it is worse. We'll find out soon enough.
The popcorn lung that's what they always say.
That's the thing I'm scared of. The popcorn lung. That just sounds like the thing I don't want.
I don't want my lung to turn into popcorn.
Yeah, I feel like I'd open my mouth and it's like pop, 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 pop.
Your lung just gets stuck in your teeth and you got to spend the whole movie trying to fish it out. Popcorn lung.
Yeah, man.
Fuck that.
That's why you floss every night, like me.
I flossed last night.
But I really do wonder if they paid Giannis or if they gave him stock or like the key card for access to Heaven's Gates or whatever else they give out.
I don't think they did, but I think that I posted a tweet. I actually wrote a apology letter for people to sign to give to their boss when they went to Chick-fil-A today for lunch, and the line was 2 hours long.
Oh, wow.
Check it out on my Twitter, @Jared Borislow.
Wow. Yeah. Speaking of sports and hashtag sports, if you bet on sports and you don't use our sponsor, MyBookie.ag, you absolutely should. Great service, and you're not only getting the action you need, but supporting the show at the same time. Great website, all the bets you could possibly want, props, live lines, futures. The casino is awesome. NBA Finals have actually obviously closed out. Stanley Cup just closed out. Major League Baseball still going strong.
So is Formula One.
Formula One still going strong. Tons of different stuff to bet on, though, at MyBookie.ag. Some things that you probably didn't even know were going. And, like I said, if you're not into sports betting, the casino is awesome as well, and they've been huge sponsors and supporters of RBP throughout the pandemic. Have fun, gamble responsibly. Hit MyBookie.ag. Use the code RBP when you sign up and deposit to support the show and get a deposit bonus. Stipulations apply. I share pics on Twitter pretty often when I'm betting on stuff. Here and there, if you want to follow me and participate, I'm usually betting with our sponsor, MyBookie.ag, where, again, you use the code RBP to get that deposit bonus. Their live betting options and casino are my favorites on all the internet. So if you bet on sports, you want to support the show at the same time, hit MyBookie.ag today. Use the code RBP when you sign up, support the show, and snatch a deposit bonus in return.
Grab your light, this is Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
Stop the Wikipedia when you're high.
I got a good one.
Okay.
I got a good one. Oh, if you're new here, we do a segment called Stuff the Wikipedia when you're high, where we talk about a funny thing on Wikipedia. Funny or interesting or sometimes horrifying, actually. Today's maybe a mix of all 3 or 4. I can't remember how many things I said. It's matilage.
You did absolutely not say that.
Matilatoge. Matilatoge.
I would say
Matilage.
matelotage. Matelotage.
It actually is French for seamanship.
For what?
Seaman.
Like a ship full of seamen?
Yep. Actually, it was a same-sex civil union amongst sailors. In particular, pirates in the 17th and 18th century. Now, if you've been listening to this show for a long time, you're squealing right now because we are a pirate podcast. In fact, we often talk about badass pirates you haven't heard of. And in today's segment, matilage, or matalato, if you're French, again, French for seamanship, is our topic, which was a huge thing among pirates that I did not even know existed. It was an economic partnership, and they say matelot. Look, I'm just going to butcher all the words. Matelots is how it's spelled, would agree to share their incomes and inherit their partner's property in the case of their death. So you're a pirate, you're on a ship, there are no chicks, you're not married, and you and your boy are like, well, fuck it. Let's like make sure that if one of us goes down, somebody's getting paid. That's basically what matilage was.
Seems like it provides incentive for the other person
to murder the other?
Yes.
In a pirate situation, you really have to make sure that it's indeed the pirate's life for them when you go into this type of relationship.
It's a pirate's life for me.
With another pirate, yeah. I know it's for you, but like for them, is it? You don't know. You got to be sure. In addition, they would pledge to protect and fight alongside each other in battle and otherwise act in each other's interests. So it's kind of like a little partnership, right? Hey, man, we're both pirates on this ship, and I kind of want to jack you off. Let's get each other's backs in the fights and suck each other behind the curtains when no one's looking. And you know what? Fuck it. If one of us dies, let's split up our stuff so that it's we're a win-win. I totally get this. Makes sense.
You and I are kind of like content matalots.
You are my matelot.
It might be Matalo.
Matlow?
Matalo.
Isn't that a... Matlock?
Matlock. Rosebud. That's Citizen Kane. Oops.
Just throwing out film and TV reference words. The more you know.
Back to you, Jared.
Oh, thanks. We needed some kind of soundbite there. While often interpreted as a platonic form of mutual insurance, as I was just describing it, many historians believe that matilage would be much more accurately comparable to same-sex marriage. In the male-dominated world of piracy, homosexuality was common. A union such as matilage may have acted as a manner of validating relationships that would otherwise have been considered against contemporary societal norms. So perhaps the pirates found a loophole to society not accepting their love in matilage, or matalalo, if you're French. It's kind of cool. Didn't realize that. One often cited instance of mateladage as a romantic rather than economic union is that of John Swan and Robert Culliford. Both pirates in the Indian Ocean during the late 17th century, the pair represent one of the few written sources of the practice. Beyond the documentation of their union, Swan was referred to as, quote, a great consort of Culliford's who lives with him, end quote. Another allusion to matelage's true significance was the disapproval it was shown by colonial authorities. For example, in 1645, governor of the colony of Tortuga, Jean Le Vasseur, requested the French government that female prostitutes be sent to the island, supposedly in order to deter mateladage amongst the buccaneers. So they were so concerned that the pirates might be gay that they were like, round up the prostitutes and send them to Pirate Island, otherwise known as Tortuga.
I feel like every pirate island is named Tortuga, right?
Yeah. It's where every Pirates of the Caribbean movie was based. Caribbean?
I really want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean again now.
Fucking great film, Jared. Seen it so many times.
I want to watch all of them.
Well, we are a pirate podcast, so you should, for research. Mateladage. But also hilarious and stupid. It's sending in
the hookers,
female prostitutes to deter these dudes from having these matelages and jizz. Weird move.
It is.
It's the pirate's life for me, Jared. You and I are mateladage.
Do I have to agree that?
Yep.
I agree.
You are. It's a big moment for us, man.
We're in a mateladage.
We're mateladage.
Matelatage. We're mateladage. We should learn how to say it first.
We should. Tomorrow's show, maybe. Friday's show. Patreon. If you know anything about me, very likely that you know my dogs, my two 8-year-old toy Aussies, Bruce and Bella. I love them like family. I want them taken care of, which is why I'm stoked about our sponsor, Jinx, now the official food and treat provider of all Bolen Media dogs, including Jared's awesome dog, Millie. Today's episode is brought to you by Jinx, and look, folks, this is simple. Listen up. Our modern dogs do more sleeping and lounging than they do hunting or working, and it's to keep our pups happy and healthy, where most kibble falls short on the nutrition that dogs need. Real quality ingredients without the added fillers. Dog parents, meet Jinx, the internet's fastest growing dog wellness brand and your dog's new favorite kibble, treats, and dental chews with recipes proven to support digestion, immunity, and heart health. Designed by dog parents, formulated by pet nutritionists, and approved by veterinarians, and loved by dogs. It's Jinx, Jared. All of our dogs are eating Jinx now. I've got two Aussies, a 90-pound Doberman, a Cavalier Pomeranian. They all love it.
My dog, Millie, did not like to eat food until I started feeding her Jinx, and now she loves it.
Gets after it.
Like, if your dog's a picky eater, and like maybe you put the food down, they sniff it, kind of walk away, try Jinx. My dog freaking loves it, and now I feel bad that I was feeding my dog bad food for a lot of her life.
And Jinx was designed with picky eaters in mind. If it's not your dog's new favorite food, the Jinx team will make it right with their 100% money-back guarantee. Try Jinx. Get 40% off your first subscription order at thinkjinx.com/RBP. That's THINKJINX.com/RBP. Your dog deserves a cleaner kibble designed for modern doghood that they actually want to eat, and you can feel good about feeding them. Your dog will love it or your money back. What are you waiting for? Get 40% off at thinkjinx.com/RBP. Thinkjinx.com/RBP to support our podcast, support your fur family at the same freaking time. It's a win-win-win-win.
Win-win-win. Win-win-win-win.
I had a question for the people listening. What other segments would you like Jared and I to keep in the regular flow of the show with stuff to Wikipedia when you're high? That's one that's sort of just always found its way back. But we mentioned Badass Pirates you haven't heard of earlier. We kind of ran through all the pirates as an example of a segment that's the reason we don't bring it back very often. Frankly, we did all the cool pirates. There are not that many pirates documented, and I'll tell you, as a guy who's done a lot of segments about pirates at this point for his pirate podcast, the Ross Bolen podcast, there's not a lot of detail even in the ones that we do have some history on. So I'm curious what other segments that we used to do that y'all would like to see regularly in the rotation, if you know what I'm saying. So holler at Jared and I, at Jared Borislow on social media, at WR Bolen on social media. Let us know when you enjoy an episode, if you had a favorite segment, something funny from that episode, or the most recent show you listened to, or whatever. Holler at Jared and I on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. Let us know. TikTok as well. By the way, happy birthday, Drac. Your girl Gracie asked me for a birthday shout out for you, and I don't think I remembered, and your birthday has long since passed, but I hope it was tight. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast is the place you can go get an ad-free episodes every Friday. Patreon.com.
New episodes, never before heard. We literally make them only for Patreon. It's not just this episode without ads. It is a completely new episode of the show. And we have been doing them every Friday.
I've seen a lot of people, Jared, that have started working their way back through. As you've pointed out, even if you've listened to every public episode of RBP, you haven't heard any of the ad-based ones, and you're missing like a third of the all-time existing episodes or something crazy like that. So people have started signing up, going back, listening to the first and the oldest Patreon episodes we have on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast and commenting stuff afterwards, because I saw a comment today in my email that I was like, this is a very, very old thing that I talked about a very long time ago, and that was why. So clearly people are enjoying it, and we would love to see more of you on there. Jared and I are trying to get 2,000 people is our next goal on patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. We're staying above 1,000 right now, just barely. There's like a fall off of like 10% every month because of credit cards getting changed and all this different stuff. So the more of y'all we can get there, the better. The more momentum we'll have towards that goal of 2,000. So we appreciate you very much. Come get those ad-free Friday episodes. Got another one coming in a couple days. Today's Wednesday episode, obviously brought to you by thinkjinx.com/RBP. to support the show and your dogs. MyBookie.ag, code RBP to bet on sports and support the show. And Stamps.com code RBP on Stamps.com to support the show and take care of your postage. But all the episodes on Patreon are brought to you by you, as is really everything we do here at Bolen Media. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast is sort of the backbone of our entire company. And we really, really, really need a lot of you there to support the show, the company, and everything that Jared and I are looking to grow so that eventually it can be more than just Jared and I, because right now it is a two-man team. We are doing everything from writing to recording to editing, producing. All of that is Jared and I. All the marketing that takes place afterwards, the social media, everything is Jared and I. So, just something to keep in mind. If you were looking for another reason to support the show, that's why. So we can help the company grow. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. It's a minimum pledge of $5 monthly. You get ad-free Friday episodes, a written column each month updating you on the progress of Bolen Media as an active, participant in the growth of it by being on Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. We thought that would be fun for y'all. And there are two upper tiers, if you will, the Enforcer tier and the OG tier on Patreon, where you get up to 5 more columns each month. Not up to, you do get 5 more columns each month that are not in the RBP gang tier for your even further support. So we appreciate y'all. You also get mental health minisodes in those 2 upper tiers.
2 more coming this month.
Yes, sir. So that is, one more maybe. Didn't I do one already? No, maybe I do have 2 more.
Yeah.
Not sure. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast. They'll both be there by the end of the month. I promise you that. And we appreciate you very much to all of you who are already there. Thank you. Stay there next month. See you in August. And we'll see you on Friday at patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast.